People say, it was a difficult decision. It wasn't. Be honest, right? And I think it's total BS, right? I lost a lot of money in the gym in regards to Samson. Money talk, bro. Money talks, right? Floyd Mayweather said it best. Legacy doesn't pay bills. Money pays bills. And all these guys like myself, the big shows with the big money because we want the money. We in ourselves are a business, and we want the money.
What's up, Desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video. And today I'm joined by Nathan Asha. I thought I'd get a man on that pretty much likes to speak his mind, and we're going to discuss the 2024 Arnold Classic what went down and what's been going on with Nathan Asha. What's up, my man?
Nothing much, buddy. A little bit tired after the long weekend, staying up, watching the Arnold Classic. As you guys know, I wouldn't stay up normally, but it was free. So, why not watch it, right?
Yeah, that was pretty cool, man. Like, I know that those guys put a ton of money into doing this webcast, and it was nice to have it because you got to see like a lot of really like cool moments, like Jay Cutler winning like the Lifetime Achievement Award. You had obviously Hardy Chupin coming back and probably bringing his best ever. Yeah, and there's tons of things on the webcast as well, man. Like there's a few things I got to point out which are hilarious. Like you have even like the men's physique dude who won and like ruined Arnold's suit and was like crying on his chest. Man, stuff like that. So there's a lot of cool moments. So shout out to the Arnold people for putting on that webcast for free. And yeah, it's really cool. But man, I want to get your opinions on a few things because obviously there's a bunch of guys that that were in the show, and plus you probably got a bunch of opinions as well. So the classic physique, we saw Wesley Vissers take this one out, and that was a shock because everyone was saying, Ramon's going to win it. Maybe Uruz can push him. Maybe, someone, Breon can get up there. But Wesley, like, just jumps everyone and looks insane. He obviously works with Stefan, who you're coached by as well. So, man, what did you think about that and him beating Ramon? Because no one thought that was really a possibility.
Well, what happened, everyone's seeing Wesley. He was posting every day. He wasn't shy, a lot of the guys, they weren't posting. They're doing this whole hiding thing and keep it under the covers when I think it's total BS, right? Wesley's out there posting all the time. So I knew what he was bringing. But I my heart of hearts thought it was going to be, a two-man show, with yours and Ramon. I think everyone thought that. But then the second, Wesley got called out, he hasn't been given his fair chance in a lineup. He just hasn't, right? He always gets put aside for no reason. But I think when he got up there and this increased weight cap has gone in, bro, he just looked like a man mountain next to these guys. And I think, obviously it's classic physique, right? But height works in your favor because you have the extra weight and stuff. And he just made the guys look small. Like yours and Ramon and Breon are not small guys, bro. They're not small. And he made them look small. When he opened up, and people are going to criticize him for his waist and stuff and say Ramon's waist was tight, but that's his structure. That's his bone structure. He can't control that. His waist is not blown out. That's just his structure, how you got to go with it. And, in the prejudging, I would have him miles ahead of Ramon and yours. In the evening show, I text Stefan saying, you've got an Arnold champion winner. Congratulations. And he won it easily, hands down. People say, it was a difficult decision. It wasn't. Be honest, right? And yours is a very, very good friend of mine. And I'm honest, bro. Like it wasn't close. I would say he faded in the evening show. As the rounds went on, Wesley did fade on the round. I think it was the third round of the finals. He faded a little bit. And the only criticism I said to Stefan, and he'll probably tell Wesley, Ramon just done him in the hamstrings and the glutes, done him over. And I think Wesley has them, but when he was posing, he just was letting them loose, was clenching them and then letting them loose. To where Ramon and Breon and yours, they were there all the time. So to challenge Sebum, he needs to get the hamstrings a little bit bigger and just keep the legs in that pose. And I believe he's the best man to give, Chris a run for his money, bro. I honestly do. And Chris not being next to someone this big, he always outsizes the guys, but no way will he outsize Wesley. No way.
No, absolutely. And the thing is, Wesley's, I think, is 6'3" and Sebum's like 6'1". Even if it's like 1.5 inches difference, it's still a bit, man. And Wesley had like the upper body like pop, like the roundness, like the way the chest shelves off, the delts, like in the back double bicep against Ramon. I was just looking at the arms, shoulders, and I'm like, Wesley's, shoulder is that high, that deep or whatever, and then Ramon's is here, and then the biceps coming up that much more, and I'm like, it's crazy to look at. And I think when, like you said, when Wesley can get those hamstrings and glutes sort of in order and get more of a pop to them, I think he's going to look just so insane, because the fact he's able to beat Ramon and now he's still got these areas he can improve on, it's like that's scary for Sebum and everyone else in the division, because we don't know, this could be Sebum's last year, and Sebum might see this as almost like how Dorian came along when Lee Haney was competing. So he had Lee Haney winning Olympias, and Lee Haney was sort of like, this Dorian guy's coming. And he might have got out at the perfect time. Maybe he went one more year. Maybe Dorian wins it. Maybe he gets 9. Who knows? But for Sebum, it's like, what does 7 do that 6 doesn't for him? It's like,
that's really right, man. Like, give Wesley his due, bro. Like, he deserved it. I don't think anyone can take that away from him. No one, don't think,
I found out some interesting info, actually, before we get on to Open quickly, that Ramon actually only prepped for 6 weeks for this contest, and I think the Olympia prepped for 9 or something. Chris Aceto wasn't there as well, so he sort of had that issue where he maybe... I thought Ramon was dramatically better at the finals than he was at prejudging. Like, at finals, I'm like, oh, this is close. Prejudging, I was like, I got Wesley. So it was... I probably had Ramon slightly at finals, but at prejudging, easily Wesley. So... on the judges' scorecards, it was 1 point difference. And I found out that they only judge 1 score in the Classic. And in the Open, they do 50-50 judging for prejudging finals. But in the Classic, it's just 1 score. And that's basically judged at prejudging. And then I think if it's close or a judge wants to change a decision, they can at finals. But it's pretty much 1 score. So maybe if it was like the 50-50 sort of judging, it would have been a different result, possibly. But I'm not too sure. I think it's more... I think honestly both are judged, because it's like, if I want to compare
it was close, right? It was close.
Yeah, so it was an awesome competition. But the Open, Hardy Chupin wins, man. He comes back and he brings... Firstly, do you think this was Hardy's best package of all time or not?
I think it was as close as the one when he beat myself at the what was it, the Vancouver. I think it was slightly better than that. It was, they were the 2 best Hardys you've ever seen. I think this Hardy was a lot bigger, and it's hard to judge, because the Olympia, he wasn't his best, right? One before that, he wasn't his best as well. But this Hardy, bro, was crazy. It was... I had Samson to win, I've lost money, so I'll be calling this black ass to get some money back, right? I've lost a lot of money in the gym in regard to Samson, so I had to walk in the gym tomorrow with my head held high. But yeah, man, like, Hardy again hadn't shown nothing, nobody, and Samson's out there posing. So I had Samson, bro. I had Samson, Hardy, I had Ramon, then I had James, and then I thought, Keane would have been 5th. I didn't have De La Rosa in it, no way, but John shocked everyone, bro, and massive congratulations to John. But I did have Samson for the win, because, again, we hadn't seen Hardy. But then when Hardy walked out, I texted the boys and said, okay, I've lost, And I think Fawad was saying, in regards to Samson's size, would outdo the condition. It just couldn't, bro. The condition was that far ahead. It was crazy. It was just crazy, and he had, even though Samson was like 30 or 40 pounds heavier than him, he looked the same size as Samson. So, it's crazy. But then you think to yourself, imagine if Samson got the condition Hardy suffered, bro, Samson would be unbeatable. Would be fucking unbeatable. It's just Samson's issue is a condition issue. But in the evening, he came back a lot fuller. I didn't like the finals look. I think it was too. It was too. He went for fullness. I thought the prejudging look was better for Samson. I thought personally, because in the nighttime show, he looked about 10, 15 pounds heavy the next day, but I still just had was miles ahead complete judging. But I think Steve and the guys give the audience a show what they wanted. But like I said, the massive thing for me was De La Rosa getting the fourth spot, and I almost thought Akeem was overlooked, to be honest, bro, because
Well,
I didn't see.
Akeem, man.
I was confused with the whole Akeem. They had Akeem, then they had Samson, Hadi, and then they had Rafa. Remember the last call outs? So I thought Akeem
Yeah,
got fourth, and then he got sixth. So I wasn't too sure what was going on there in the judges' minds.
man.
But Akeem looked crazy.
I got some clarification on that from Tarek El Gindi because I went on the Olympia TV podcast straight after Mr. Olympia, and I asked the question. I said, Tarek, because obviously Akeem was in that last call out at final, so they were looking at him for top 4. Now I've been trying to look up the scorecards to get confirmation on this. I've been on NPC News Online, but for some reason when I click on the scorecards, it says page not found. So haven't been able to get clarification on this officially, but. I basically asked him, I said, is it because Akeem was I think he was last call out in the prejudging, and then he moved all the way up to be in that top 4 comparison, which is wild. So I said, did he place 6th because he was maybe 8th at prejudging, and then he placed 4th at finals, and we've just gone half of each score, and it sort of landed him in the middle?
Yeah.
And he said, he basically said, yeah, that's what would have happened, which I actually sort of like, because it's if they were going to judge it all together and oh, okay, we'll move this guy up, and it was one score like it is with the classic, then I get it. You can go, yeah, okay, Keem should be 4th or 5th or something. But yeah, it was basically literally, I sort of like it because it's okay, well, if you completely messed up at prejudging, but hey, you corrected it and was 4th at finals, then okay, you play 6th. So it's at least it doesn't oh, well, it doesn't matter if you look like crap at prejudging, you look good there, or it's okay, well, you looked crap at prejudging and really good at finals. So it's I sort of like that you get a balance of between the two.
Yeah, you get a chance.
It was
to get
confusing
to
for fans.
Point, but...
Yeah, because the fans I think were confused by it. They're well, what the hell? He's in the last call
crazy.
out. Yeah.
I thought I was asleep or something. What's going on here? And then he got 6. What the fuck, So, but at least now that's put that to bed. So I haven't got to worry.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you think of Rafa as well? Because Rafa's a guy that I know you've competed against in some of these European shows before, and he's sort of been, coming for a long time now in terms of getting to his best sort of look, where he's had to add that extra size to really make an impression. And I was really impressed with Rafa as well, and I think
I thought he was
always
good,
lean towards aesthetics.
I thought he was good, but I thought De La Rosa beat him.
In some shots, De La Rosa was crazy, man.
That's what I thought, bro.
De La Rosa,
you could see the difference in the muscle. Rafa's look fresh, fresh muscle, and you could see it was new. To where John's just looked, even on the live stream, looked grainy. It looked thick and old, like that old man looked like it's been there for a long time. I just thought I thought De La Rosa, had him. I would have said it would be 4-4 in the shots, but and then I would have given Rafa the whole physique look and aesthetics, but then I would have given De La Rosa the conditioning, and then when you're going 5 and 5, I would have lent more towards De La Rosa, my opinion, because I like that more grainier look. But I understand why the judge went to Rafa, because it's more aesthetics. But John for me was a massive, massive upset for everyone. No one's seen him coming, because the pictures John posted, even though we knew he was in shape, the lighting was bloody dreadful, right? He's no he's no horse MD or Regan, right? Picks the best lighting.
He's doing what you do, bro. He's doing what you do.
Just get the video check in. There you go. F off, and I didn't see it coming. I knew he was in shape, because I know John, and I know if he wasn't in shape, he would have just walked away. He would have said, "Oh, look, I'm not in shape," called in sick or something. But when I seen him walked out, I was like, "Fuck," he's knocking the door. I would have liked to see him get third for his highest ever position. But again, massive congratulations to Rafa because his first Arnold getting third place is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that sort of went down there. But one thing that sort of went down, which I wanted to mention as well, is the fact that on stage they increased the prize money from $300,000, and you've only got to remember back a couple of years. It was 125 at the Arnold, I think, only about 3 years ago for first place. So we've got 125,
2 years ago.
200K. Yeah, 2 years. So 125, 200, 300, and next year it's going to $500,000, which is incredible for bodybuilding, or especially open bodybuilding. I don't know if any of the other classes are getting an increase in prize money. We'll have to wait and see for that, or whether they put any of the prize money towards the guys that are finishing second or third or fourth. I'm not too sure. But also I saw as well, at the Dubai Pro, we've got the men's opens gone from 40,000 to 100,000, which is huge news, and it's actually put out over this weekend, which I thought probably not the best idea to put that news out this weekend because obviously the Arnold Classic is on, so it's going to be overshadowed a little bit. But this sort of went under the radar. So we've got 100K from 40K from the men's open. We've got 30K to 60K for the classic men's physique, which I believe is potentially the same as the Olympia and the Arnold Classic. Yeah, and then you got the men's physique, $15,000 to $40,000. I don't know if $40,000 for the men's physique is the biggest or one. I think the Olympia do maybe 40 or 50, but it's in the same ballpark, man. Like, it's crazy that just got upped after it already had been upped just recently. And I'm wondering if Beta's getting any idea. Is it Beta that puts it on?
Yeah, bro. Beta puts it on. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if he's getting any ideas now and being like, hey, what's going on here? And he's creating something massive, man, because it would really create like 3 different sort of set competitions for the top guys to jump into. Because if you've got shows that any show that's going to give away 100K, man, is going to get interest from top pros, no doubt. So if you've got the Arnold Classic, then you've got Dubai and maybe another show pops up around that. And then you've got the Olympia. It's 3 set time periods of year where bodybuilders, especially top bodybuilders, are going to target. So, man, like, what do you think about all this prize money now being injected into bodybuilding? And then not to mention there's an extra 10 grand at all the open pro shows for the year as well. So what's your thoughts on it?
Money talks, bro. Money talks, right? And that's all you can say. So it's a lot to compound into a small podcast, right? Short podcast. So let's try to be brief about it. IFBB said they're going to put 200 grand for the shows. That's an extra 10,000, extra 10,000 or something per show. Extra 5,000 for the men's open. And okay, that's good, right? But then these guys, Arnold and Mr. Badder, they're just pissing on it, and they're just putting 200 grand on a men's show. Pissing on it. So what I like about Arnold, right? And I had an inkling something was coming because he said whether I was number one book, the number one movie, I'm the number one this, the number one on his speech, right? He likes to be the best at everything, and so he should be. He's the greatest ever bodybuilder of all time, being a mayor of a country that he wasn't even born in. So he likes to be the best of everything, and respect for him to do that. But, I think the guys know that this 500,000, what I will say is the way, how he said, basically in a nice, polite way. I'll say it in the way Arnold wants to say it. Arnold wants to say, fuck the rules. That's what he wanted to say, but he couldn't say it. That's why he was like, oh, abide by it. He just means fuck the rules now. So I think he knows that the Olympia is the number one show. He is now the number one show. He will get the top guys because, let's be honest, right? Floyd Mayweather said it best. Legacy doesn't pay bills. Money pays bills. So you have a choice, right, to do the Arnold Classic and get a fair shot and win $500,000, or do the Olympia and have to knock the Olympian out and get 400,000. Where are you going to go? You're going the Arnold, right? Everyone, the Arnold gets a fair shot, bro. You get a fair shot. The Olympia is this whole have to knock the champion out and all this malarkey, which should be it's the creme of the creme. But I don't think it's no longer the creme of the creme no more. It's just the Olympia. Everyone wants to be the Ronnie Coleman in the Olympia, but the Olympia was there because of the prize money. That's why it was the creme de la creme. Now all these guys like myself are all gonna be trying to hit the big shows with the big money because we want the money. You know, we in ourselves are a business, and we want the money. So if first prize is 500,000, you know Arnold's going to put the second prize to at least 300G. Now, if you get 300G for second prize,
you know he'll do 300G, 300.
Probably, I reckon, bro. 300 or 250. He ain't going to go 500 to 125. That's too big of a drop. Then why would you even bother going to the Olympia if you get, bro, fourth place at the Olympia gets 50 grand, 50 grand, yeah, or something like that. So if it is a 75 or 50 or 50, you can get
sure,
fifth or sixth, fifth, and probably be getting at the Arnold now. You know what I mean? So you're like, what's going on there? So everyone's going to want to go to the Arnold. Now, you know, speaking of the UAE guys, Mr. Badr, you know, the guys in the Middle East are taking over boxing. They took over, you know, most sports. They're taking over football or soccer, like the Americans like to say. You know, with all the money, they want to be the best of the best. Now, Badr increased this to 100,000. He's now matched the Olympia. Now I know Badr personally. Everyone knows he won't want to be second best. I've got, you know, I've messaged him laughing, laughing. You know, 500,000. What the fuck? Everyone's going there. I know in his mind he will put 2025 Dubai Classic to 500,000 or 1 million. And then I will bet anyone that's what he will do. Or he will try and take the Olympia himself, put the Olympia there and give the guys 1 million or 500,000 at the Olympia. He will go, you know, head to head with Arnold and have the two best shows in the world. And then they will make, you know, the Olympia. If Mr. Badr doesn't buy it, they will make the Olympia show number 3 because you will want to go to the main shows on the ones with the money. Because if you've been to an Arnold Classic, you've heard the roar, right? Everyone's crazy. The Arnold, the expo is bloody massive. If you've ever been to a Dubai show, bro, going to the Dubai Classic is like going to an NFL game or a football game. They are fucking wild. They love it.
I heard it was awesome. Like everything I heard from like Brandon Curry was there. There's a bunch of guys that I know were there, and they're like, dude, the lighting was on point. And they're like, oh, look, a black backdrop, you know, like they actually had black behind the athletes. And it looked really cool. And sometimes it's rare to hear from everyone who was there that I spoke to were like, yeah, it was a great show. I don't know if it's a disadvantage because you said, you know, Beta will maybe try to buy the Olympia and take it over, you know, because if he's got ridiculous money, some real FU money, and obviously you got Arnold, Beta, Jake Wood. These guys all have money, you know, they all have a good amount of money. And I've got to give credit as well. Jake Wood saved bodybuilding's ass for a year. He saved it, man. Like he did some crazy stuff. He offers as well prize money. And it is a passion thing for Jake. I can't imagine he bought the Olympia and was like, this is how I'm going to make money, you know?
Yeah, no way.
He's passionate about the sport. So he's put he's put the Masters Olympia on, he's done the Rising Phoenix, he's done all these things where there's no return on investment. Like there is.
Yeah, bro. It's like a Badr, bro. He, you know, you go to the Dubai show. I think most of the tickets are free to get in. He doesn't charge no one to get in. You know, the expo he charges because obviously he has no say in it. But the show, when there's the show, it's free to get in, bro. Like, come,
are you serious?
Bring it, yeah, bro. We don't bother just like Jake and Arnold does it for the love. These guys have money, you know, and you know he does it for the love. You know, I'm going to speak to him in regards to it probably today because I go back there after Ramadan anyway. But these guys do it for the love of the sport, you know, and it wouldn't put it past me to where if Badr goes, okay, well, we'll do the men's open, let's say 500 or 600,000, and then we'll do the classic at 250, 200. I wouldn't see Seabum leaving then, you know, even though he's got a lot of money, you know, and then probably 212 because the guy loves 212 over in Kuwait. That'll probably be the same. And it, you know, you're going to like, you know, men's physique probably 80G or 100G, you know, and these guys are all now going head to head because the sport is increasing massively worldwide. So, you know, what Arnold's done, I think Arnold set the barrier to where he's like kicked down the doors, F you with the rules, you know. I'll do my sanctions, pay my sanction fees and whatever, not to the Arnold to IFBB, but it's my show, my rules. And I think now this will make, you know, Badder, he'll probably be on the phone to the powers that be. You know, he's doing 500, I'm doing 500, I'm having a bigger show. You know, people have egos, right? But I can see it, bro. And I think a lot of the guys like myself will aim for these 3 shows, and you will get the best guys at the best shows, because Olympia is invitation only. You know, they have to win a show. Arnold's invitation only. You have to be a pro show winner or whatnot to go there. And then Dubai, you know, anyone can travel there. You know, anyone can travel there. You'd see Hardy jumping them all the time because it's round the corner from his doorstep. He's always in shape. He hasn't got to worry about flights, accommodation. He knows it's a few hours flight straight in, no visa, boom. You know, and the show will be absolutely crazy. I think 2024 is a good year because of the money that we're given now, but next year is going to be something different. And, you know, I think the shows are even going to have to step up because these guys doing awesome with the shows. And, you know, I think, like you say, Tamer a while back, those guys set the standards of the shows. And now everyone's just like, okay, well, it's my show. I'm doing what I want. I'm doing this and doing that. But when you look at it, you know, if you're doing an expo and these people paying for expos and people paying for tickets, you can give the guys a bit more money. I understand a smaller show, you know, and having to sell tickets to give those guys the winnings. I can get that. When you're doing expos and the shows and stuff, and you're getting 100 or 200,000 people in the show, and you're doing $50 a ticket or whatever, you can afford to give the guys some more money. I think the guys now are realizing the value, what they're worth, and I think the shows are as well. So, you know, massive congratulations to Arnold. I think a lot of the guys are licking the lips. I know my phone was going busy last night and this morning. Have you seen the news? 500,000. What's Badder doing? What's Olympia going to be doing? And then, you know, obviously we're all eager for money because they know, a lot of the guys know that they can't win the show, but the drip down from, you know, guys from 1st to 5th to 7th will get more money. And that's what it's about. Money talks.
Exactly, man. And I've got to imagine, like, being Brandon. This is the other thing I heard as well. Brandon Curry was on a podcast, I believe it was maybe the Menace podcast, and he was discussing, I don't know if they were discussing what he's doing next. And I think they said, oh, you're just going to do the Olympia again, sort of thing. And he said, oh, if I do a show before, basically sort of mentioned Dubai. That's the sort of impression I got. And I'm wondering if he's like, if he knew this prize money increase was coming to $100,000, you know what it is now.
It wouldn't put it past me. It wouldn't put it past me if Badder's asked for the prize money to be more already. He's probably asked 2-3 months ago. Can I have more? Can I do more? Because he's a guy who wants to give, right? And he's probably trying to give more. And obviously, with Arnold saying, you know, the rules, maybe there is rules to how much we can give. We don't know. You know, I don't know the ins and outs of the contracts. I don't. But maybe his limitation was 100,000, and now he's like, well, he's doing that. So I think Brandon would have knew that it was going up. And bro, you would be stupid to be Brandon Curry and not do that show. You'd be stupid. You know Hardy's going to do it. Hardy's going to do it. I guarantee you, Samson's going to do that show because he competes like myself everybody's show, right? And, you know, because think about it, be realistic. If you're gonna win like Samson, you can do 2 shows and rack in 800,000 or 700,000. You know, and then the Olympias, you mightn't peak with the Olympia, but you could get top 4. You still get money. It's still about money. You know what I mean? Title's good, but money's better.
Yeah. Well, dude, think about this. Like, if you were the number 1 guy, if you're Hardy Chupin, if you're Derek Lunsford, one of these guys, if you go and do the Arnold in Columbus, which is $500,000 next year, just say the Dubai Pro, on the off chance, goes up to $500,000. If you won those 2 shows, plus what's the Arnold UK, 100K, something like that, and then you won the Olympia. If you win those 4 shows, which is
1.5 million,
1.6 even, man. Like, what would
and
the Olympia
Dubai tax free.
Whew, no, that is some crazy money, man.
The
Like,
tax-free money, the tax-free money is massive because it's, you know, it's 20%. So, you know,
yeah,
it's a lot of change.
some countries it's probably even more as well. So it's like, because I know, man, there's different rules. Like I know there's a rule even with YouTube now. Some countries, like if that country doesn't have like some sort of treaty with the US because the money's made in the US, they'll get taxed US money and they'll get tax money in another country as well. So if you can get that money
Yeah.
tax free, that makes huge
Yeah.
difference. But it's an exciting time for bodybuilding, man, because it's not just that money, it's the extra money in these smaller pro shows. And like you said, I think it forces people to up their game. Like what we
Yeah.
saw back in the day, like with the IFBB, and then we had was it the PDI and then we had whatever Wayne
The
DeMille's
wrestling one,
federation.
remember?
Yeah, exactly. The WBF or whatever it was.
Some
So we've had
bullshit, right?
a few challenges, but when the WBF came around, Vince McMahon was offering these huge contracts, a lot of money, and they definitely sold some guys on it. But I don't think the business model in terms of bodybuilding just being just like wrestling worked necessarily, because at the end of the day we want to see who should win and all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, that money does talk. You know what I mean?
You got to
There
look
was
at it like
guys
this,
that
bro, as
left.
well. Like Vince McMahon, he's coming from another federation. Yeah, so you're having to take guys from the IFBB to this. These guys are already
Yeah,
part of the
much harder.
IFBB, so you're not taking no one. Everyone.
Yeah.
So you haven't got to put it in it like, oh, you know, Samson, you know, Hadi, come to my league. I'm already part of the pro league. I'm just doing your show. You
Yeah,
know, and like
exactly.
if I was Derek, bro, if I was
Doing it right.
Derek, my ass would be doing every single show, because well, why not? The time span on niche on this sport is very young. So get as much as you can while you can before you burn out. Why not look at Samson? He's a prime example, bro. He's going there collecting the checks, before he hangs the trunks up. Because you ask
Yeah.
anyone, because let's be realistic, right? The legacy, you're only going to get a legacy now if you win 8 Mr. Olympias or you win 9. No one's going to do it. So put the legacy out the window, go for the money, feed the family, try and get some type of generational wealth going, and that's your legacy within your family.
Yeah, man. And when I was saying about the competition, I don't mean that, about leaving federations and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is that it gets the IFB to up their game in a way, even though they're not saying they're not doing a good job and all that sort of stuff. But it puts that pressure on, if you've got pressure of like, it's like when COVID came around, man, everyone had to force to find these other ways to do things. And sometimes it even made things better in the end, because businesses had to go, okay, we've got to revolutionize the way we're doing this. What do we have to do? Do we have to add more money? Do we have to do this? Do we have to do that? And, if a federation came out there and said, we're going to give $5 million for first place to Bodybuilding Federation, blah, blah, blah. People can be as loyal as they want, but if there's $5 million on the line for one contest, their ass is going to leave and go and do it. Like it's just fact. You know what I mean? So
what it was, well, with the whole thing of money talks and stuff, and when you're putting this amount of money in it, other people are going to want to be involved in it. Because bodybuilding, even though it's a sport and a passion we all love, there is money in it, but the money's hard to get. So companies don't want to be involved in it. But when this amount of money keeps getting pushed into it, other people are going to want a slice of the pie. And going to want, oh, we want in on this. We'll sponsor this. We'll do this. And I guarantee you, when like the powers that Arnold has behind him, you've seen his expos. He can get anyone on board at any given time. And you go over to Dubai, and the guys over there can get anyone in at any given time. Like for example, you see guys out there with Gucci contracts just because they've got a certain amount of Snapchat followers. And you're like, what? Yeah, bro, because Snapchat, or you get sponsors off certain clothing brands out there or shops. So once people start money's getting pushed into these things, everyone's going to want a slice of it, and that's a massive thing for bodybuilding right now. And I think we all should be proud of, because a lot of guys are out there promoting themselves, pushing themselves on Snapchats and Instagrams and YouTubes and stuff, and they think it's getting more and more available, more popular.
Yeah, man, 100%. But bro, is there anything else you want to cover in this video, or should we wrap it up? Any final thoughts for the Arnold Classic?
No, but I just think that it was an absolutely great show. I think the judging for the pros were good. One judging that was
Great.
terrible. I've seen that post on Instagram, but the amateurs one bad decision. But every time there's a bad decision. But overall, bro, the show was absolutely amazing. Congratulations to all those that took part. And I bet everyone's looking forward to 2025 because I tell you what, people's applications will be getting put in very, very early to go there, you know, and hope to see you guys soon. My fat ass is starting prep, you know, very soon. So
I was
hopefully
about to mention, man. I saw a
hopefully get rid
video
of
of
this
you.
fat face.
I saw you training some arms, man, and I was like, "Holy shit, Nathan's looking big." I
Yeah,
was like, "You're gonna ask the question."
I'm a fast heavy guy now, bro. Fast heavy guy now. So Stefan will start trimming it down very soon. 2 shows in mind, and then see where we go from there.
Hell yeah, man!
Going
Maybe
for the
Dubai
money.
Pro.
Bro. Go to Italy again. I think nice early show, and then go do the Dubai Pro. I always seem to be better on my second show anyway. So that's where the money will be, and that's where you'll catch me.
Hell yeah, I love it, man. And one final question as well. Do you think the Olympia now? I wanted to mention one thing too, because Tarek Elgindi actually pointed this out to me, that the Olympia actually offer, in comparison to the Arnold in some of these other classes, they offer in terms of some of the women's classes like the wellness and things like that. They offer 50 grand for first and maybe like 7 grand at the Arnold and things like that. So I don't want to say, oh, the Arnold's paying more than the Olympia. I mean, we don't know what they're going to offer next year or this year or whatever, so I have to wait and see for that. But do you think the Olympia will up the money this year from $400,000 to $500,000 either for this year or next year, because the Arnold is obviously up to their game?
In regards to the women, sadly to say, like, not being like sounding a bit of a misogynist and bad to women. No one wants to see them women shows, bro. That they go there to see the freaks. Like, I like what it was the first time I watched the Arnold because it was free. And I watched the fitness. There's a fitness. I found myself falling asleep. It was just like seeing the girls doing gymnastics. And I had to listen to the lady, to who in the rules of it. Not even Dennis knew the rules. Basically, like, yeah, I'm just watching. I'm just watching. I don't get it, So they don't put bums on seats because I tell you, to find out who brings the money in. If you sold the tickets individually, you see who sells the most. It's that I would say it's the big guys and classics. That's where the money goes. Not being disrespectful to nobody in that sense, but that's where it goes. I think the classes can be hurried along a little bit faster. I can't see the Olympia upping it. I would like them to, and I think they should because it's the Olympia. It's the creme of the creme. Keep the prestige there, and you have to. So, maybe up it to 600. I'm saying that as an athlete, but it's the creme of
Up
the
to $1
creme.
million.
Yeah, $1 million, bro. Because if you're Ronaldo or Messi, you get $1 million right for being the best. But I understand it's somebody's money. I understand that in regards to Jake and stuff, but I understand they pay for the flights. But the expo, they must make a killing. But you're the best. To be the number one, you have to offer the best. You have to be the best. And right now, Arnold's just done that. Arnold's just smacked them in the ass, sadly. So they have to up it. I don't think they will, but they have to up it. And I think they would earn more money if they traveled it. Because Arnold is Ohio. To make you different from Arnold and be more prestigious, travel it. Travel it. I've said that for a long time, because a lot of you guys, Australia, it's a fair expense to go there. For us, it's free.
Yeah.
If they travel the sport around the world and they bid for it like it was FIFA and stuff, you would see where the money is, and wherever that goes, then that's where then Jake could pull his money back because he's like, okay, we put the Arnold in FIBO in April, we would have this many 100,000 people going through. We'd put an extra €2 on the ticket. We'd sell this many tickets and whatnot, and I think that would be an excess to make more money for Jake rather than him putting it out of his own pocket. So hopefully they would, and then obviously the money will come down the line. Don't want to see Jake out of too much money because he does other events as well, which is good for the sport. But I can't see it because it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money because you can't just add 200,000 to the winner. You have to add money then all along to second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on throughout the shows. But right now, bro, Arnold's always been the man. And right now he's just showed why he's the number one and why he's the most prestigious show there is, and good to him. But Jake, bro, put us to 600, 700.
Dude, I got one more question, man. And you mentioned like who puts bums on seats, and for me, the main two divisions really, and then you can maybe even say a third, but it's classic physique and men's open bodybuilding. I've done content on, and I still do vaguely cover the other divisions, but I used to do it more. If I do content on those topics, so just say I do like a women's preview or something, the amount of views I get, because my audience doesn't necessarily want that. Some will. So some will be those hardcore fans that that will sort of follow all the divisions, but because there's so many divisions now, it's almost makes it impossible to follow all of them. So the men's interest sort of drops off some of the women's division. And for whatever reason, even though there's so many female competitors out there, they just don't, unless they're competing actively, they will probably not follow like the Bikini Olympia and stuff. And they're just not as hardcore fans for whatever reason. I don't know if it's just, I don't know. I guess it's in comparison to, I don't really follow the men's physique as much, but I compete in it. But men's open is what I'm about, man. That's what I love. Men's open, number one, classic, number two, and probably 212, number three. They're the divisions that I love to watch and love to follow. So maybe it's the same sort of thing for women, because otherwise I just don't really understand how it's followed so little, because Jake is doing so much for the women's side and promoting it and doing these women's shows for
but it's still not getting it, bro, because
it's better, but it's not
not even that, bro. It's like even with football, women don't support women. They all on this women's equal rights and sitting this women's movement and all this within March and Women's Month, but women don't follow women. I'd gladly go and buy a Nunes t-shirt, football t-shirt, but to wear, a mum will go and buy a Nunes t-shirt rather than go and buy a Rhys James sister t-shirt, So women don't support women, but they ask why men get paid more, because as gay as it sounds, we'll support other men, right? And you'll support them as well, and that's it. But what I can add in regards to that, what I would, my idea, someone probably steal it and I'll make a load of money. If they do, I want to drink on it, copyrighted right now. I think you would earn a lot of money 2025 if you've done these untested games like the Olympics. You can use drugs. You can use drugs on them. You can probably throw a bodybuilding show in there, bro, because we're all on this shit. Food for thought, right? Imagine the people that's going to be there. It only takes, everyone knows what we do and what we take, and it's safer knowing that we do it. And everyone now in the world is going to see the freaks, like you see in the Olympics. They're going that way. Well, with these new games, because let's say 100 meters, I'm Usain Bolt, and you're yourself. I run it in 9.5 natty, and you run it in 9. And you're juiced up. Do you really give in 8 months? Do you think anyone cares who I am? You just run it in 9. It's like Lance Armstrong, right? When he won, when Neil wasn't. Is that was after the biker guy?
Yeah, cyclist.
When Armstrong won it, they couldn't even. No one cares. He's still the greatest of all times. No one cares. They just want to see freaks and things be done out of the norm, And I think that's the way we're going now. People are accepting it. It's a part of life, what people do and take. But there's a safe way about it. Do it the safe way, and that's what people want to see. So it's the freakiest way is where it's going. Like you said, bro. But I couldn't. I found myself falling asleep last night when I seen girls doing somersaults and stuff. I just don't know what it was about, so I was a bit confused. Sorry about that. And I couldn't even name one. You know, I know one bikini girl, Angela, and Angela, because
Angela Texera. Yeah.
yeah, everyone knows her, right? But because she's on social media. But besides that, I don't know nobody else. But I can name a ton of men's physique. You know, a ton of men's physique. I can name a ton of classic. And even now, bro, men's physique having to show legs. I'm into that. I'm into it.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, for me, I think men's physique gone the right way with Ryan Terry. For me, that's men's physique, bro.
Yep.
Men's physique, you should be able to. It's a beach body. Because Ryan takes Mr. Olympia. No disrespect to Ryan's a friend of mine, but that can be achieved. It can be achieved if you work hard enough, diet hard. It can be achieved. When you see some of the big black guys last year, bro, them bodies can't be achieved. The 260 with no legs, you know. And to me, it's gone the right way. So hopefully, the sport is going the right way. You know, we get our just deserves and financial money that we deserve as well, because we are putting our along the line, you know. And to be the best in the world and you're not even a millionaire, it sucks a little bit.
Yeah, and this is great for the IFBB, and it's great for everyone in the bodybuilders eat, man, and it makes everyone up their game. And I think with this more injection of money into the sport in general, I think it makes everyone up their game. It makes the competitors more hungry. It makes the competitors want to compete more. It is gonna make bodybuilding better, straight
Yeah,
up, and
because
it
bro,
creates
look
more
at it.
competition.
Last thing, people were moaning the pros aren't going to the shows. Where's Nick Walker? Where's Haddy? You think Nick Walker's going to have a bed for 10 grand? No way. No way, bro. You can say, oh, he's only doing in New York because he needs to qualify for the Olympia. But Nick wouldn't have a bed for 10, 15 G to compete, you know, diet and put his life on hold for that much money all the time. But if you're putting 6 shows a year on at 100 grand, telling you, you're getting Samsons, Haddies, Nick Walkers, Derricks, all them motherfuckers. Sorry, my language. All them are getting out of bed for that much money. They'll all do what Chris Cormier told me 2 years ago: diet, do every single show. They'll all do it. Why wouldn't you do it? You know. So it's going the right way.
Man, all we need to do is look at the past, because we saw those post-Olympia shows. We had, I believe it was the Arnold Europe or UK back in the day.
Europe,
we had the EVLS Prague Pro, which I think back in the day paid
40.
like it was 75, wasn't it? I thought it was
40,
more even.
40.
Oh yeah. So they had a whole run of shows where you add it up, and if you win them all post Olympia, you win 100 and something K, or close to, maybe, I can't even remember how much it was all up, but there was money there then, real money. And maybe I saw back in the day it was 125 for one of these shows or whatever, but maybe that was total open prize money or whatever. But when there was money there, these Olympia, second place in the Olympia, we had Phil and Kai going over. We have the Shrew Classic. We had, you know, Phil, Kai, and all these guys, man. Jay did
you're going to go, and then their fans are going to go. So you're going to make the money. Put an expo there, an expo that'll get your money in, and it's going to be mad. I'm just happy that we're in this time now. Me and you and everyone else gets to share this moment. You know, that hopefully we're going on the trajectory right the way up. You know, because we've been at this plateau for a long time, and now hopefully, you know, everyone's wanting to go up and rise above and do better things. And it makes the guys have to get in shape, because if you're not in shape, you ain't getting that money. Because a lot of the time, some of the guys come in, hopefully come in a little bit soft. Oh, I'll just qualify for the Olympia. Now, you know, you want the money, you have to come in hard.
Oh, yeah. And man, it's going to be a big 2 years for bodybuilding, and we haven't done a podcast together for maybe a month or two. So I feel like I could talk to you all day, man. But I know obviously you're getting tired. I'm pretty tired myself. I told you I was napping before this. It was obviously a long weekend. But Nathan, I want to thank you so much for coming on and doing this and giving a bit of insight on what actually might go down, and the fact that Beta's up the money for Dubai Pro, and you never know what the future might hold in terms of that, because, you know, hearing that he might want to, who knows, give away a huge amount of money at some point and create just quickly, like there's something in Australia that I've heard where it's like horse racing. We've got the Melbourne Cup, which is the big prestige horse race. There's a ton of money in that. But I know that this, I don't know if it's a group or if it's some people that are involved in horse racing. They want to put on the most expensive horse race in Australia. It's called, like, I think it's called the Magic Millions or something like that. And it brings all the top horses, you know, because it is the highest paying.
The money.
And it's created it. And now it's, you know, while it doesn't get quite, I think the Melbourne Cup is the biggest horse race in the world, or one of them, you know, so it's like that's up there, and no matter what, it's going to have a certain amount of money. But this one, they're like, well, we're going to have slightly more money, most expensive horse race in the world, or Australia.
Yeah.
So now it's like they're the top two, you know, it instantly just puts that horse race right there. And it's like, so if you can have a show that offers more than the Olympia, then instantly it's going to be right there with it. And the Olympia is obviously so iconic, and, you know, we know the history of the Mr. Olympia, and that's the pinnacle of what everyone wants to reach. So if there's other shows there, they can be just as exciting, or who knows, maybe even have better lineups than the Olympia, which would be wild going forward. And I'm sure the Olympia won't want that, so they want to up their game. So it just keeps creating this thing. So I love to see it, man. And I love to get your insight on it as well, because you've obviously been out there in Kuwait, you know, Beta, you know how some of these guys work, and you've been in the industry a long time. So thank you so much, Nathan, for giving us that knowledge, giving us your opinion of the Arnold Classic 2024. And we'll definitely have to get going the Bodybuilding University podcast again, and set up 2 lots of times each week, or alternate the weeks or something. Because I know that all the guys were sort of training around the time that I was waking up at like 6 a.m. And I'm like, okay, my schedule's a bit different now, so I can work it. So we'll make it happen, man. And
sweet, brother.
It's been fun.
Thank you, but being fun, man. Good to catch up.
Yeah. Awesome. We'll do it again. Follow Nathan on all his social media, YouTube. The links are in the description below. And like this video and give it a thumbs up, and share it out with your friends as well. So for myself, Xavier Wills, this is Nathan Asha as well. For both of us, we are out. Hope you guys enjoyed this one-on-one with Nathan Asha. If you did enjoy it, give the video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and click the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up for myself, Xavier Wills, at Desktop Bodybuilding podcasts and interviews. But also go over and check out the original Desktop Bodybuilding channel, which has all your bodybuilding news on there as well. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it. For Xavier Wills, Nathan Asha, this is Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are out.